Hey, what's going on, guys? Back in the garage. Wanted to give you guys a quick little update. Got back yesterday from running the Decepticon. Also going to show you guys what's up with that boat. And a bit of a rant on Speedmaster Stingers. So I brought this boat. I had this boat tuned in perfect. And it was running great. It had no hop, no nothing, and super happy with it. And I think the last 4 or 5 times, well, every time this boat's been out, I come back and my stingers are in a different position than they were. So that's kind of why it started acting up yesterday. And so I use Speedmaster hardware for everything. My rudders, definitely the struts. But I'll be honest, probably going to go away from them on the stingers. And so, and I'm not trying to sound smart here. This had to be explained to me, and now I'm explaining it to you guys. But basically, on these Speedmasters, right, you've got the pivot point, which is right here, and that's where the adjustments are made, right? And the problem is that all of the adjustments right here, this is how you adjust the angle, are all super close to the pivot point. And that means that any slop, either in here or in here or in here or in here, any slop anywhere is magnified by the time you get out to the actual prop. And so the TFL, even though I think it might be a little less in quality, it's also less expensive. But the TFLs, they control the angle from like out here. And so because of that, and because of the design, I think it's a newer design. I'm going to be using those from this point on. So far with these, I had slop down here. I had to actually drill this hole out. I had to buy a bunch of M 2.5 millimeter screws. I had to re-tap it. So that got rid of the slop in this joint here. Yesterday when I got home, I found slop up here, which is crazy to me. I don't know how. So I used more Loctite and cranked on these. Hopefully that doesn't move. I just have everything set to neutral, so it's not like I'm doing anything crazy, any kind of crazy angles or anything like that. But anyway, that's why the Decepticon was acting a little wild yesterday. But still did 76 miles an hour. I got, custom aluminum water exits here. I did clean work on the boat. Those are Pro Boat hatch screws. Long Speedmaster rudder. I believe this is the 5-inch standoff with a 3 millimeter heavy duty rod. Shortened the rudder, rounded the leading edge, rounded the bottom of the rudder, opened up the pickups, sharpened that. I already said that. Also new to the shop, I got my GNSS, and then I got a waterproof case for it that I haven't used yet. So that'll be cool. One more thing on these Speedmasters is that I had grease oozing out from these O-rings. If you can see that, these O-rings down here had grease oozing out of them, right? Because if I didn't get the angle perfect, so that was another issue where I came home, I ordered 2 different sets off of Amazon, used the thicker one. These are I believe 11 millimeter outside diameter, 2 millimeter thickness. If my math is correct, they are a 7 millimeter inside diameter. And threw these in, no more grease shooting out. Typically, if you guys see grease shooting out of somewhere, that means that water is able to get in. It means you're losing grease on your cable. If you're seeing a big splooge of grease on the inside, also means that water is forcing it up, which means you want to keep as much grease on the cable at all times. So you shouldn't be seeing, gobs of grease oozing out anywhere. I like everything sealed on my boats. And so I don't know if I got just a bad batch on these Speedmaster Stingers. I haven't really had problems with them in the past, but they are a bit pricier. And again, I think the design is just a bit outdated. And the TFLs aren't perfect either. The TFLs really bother me because you want to get a 1/4-inch stuffing tube into them, but you can't because they're designed to run a larger tube with a liner. So again, neither solution is perfect, but that's why this boat was running a bit off. And, you know, knock on wood, over here, got some wood. Next time out, hoping that's fixed because it's a crazy fast boat, and I want to show you guys what the laps look like. The coolest thing about this boat that I've actually never... So most boats that I have, and maybe you guys can relate, but when you kind of overdrive them or you turn them really hard, you can actually feel, like almost feel the voltage sag. And my monos do this. My Cheetah does this. My Cheetah goes kind of nose down, and you can feel the voltage sag when you come out of a turn. And this is probably the only boat I have where you can throw it into a turn at any speed, and I could swear the RPM doesn't change. You don't lose speed. I mean, you are losing speed, but you don't feel it. It just feels like it feels almost like a hydro, the way that it can carry speed through a turn. And so really excited to get it ready, get it dialed, get everything tuned in so that I can really just start pushing it hard. Here's my toolbox. This is what I carry out to the lake with me every time. So if you guys ever hear me, I throw the boat in the water. If I sound like I'm out of breath, it's, you know, a 14-pound boat with that full of batteries, my remote, and then I'm carrying it pretty far, like 1/4 of a mile. I don't know, maybe it feels farther because it just feels like work. But anyway, toolbox that I carry with me. I try and travel light, but I still need the box because I still carry batteries and stuff. I think I probably should switch to a backpack. But anyway, yeah, a lot of work I've had to do so far on these. I bought all these 2.5 millimeter screws so that, you know, so right now it's threaded on each side. Each side has a small screw going through. If that doesn't work, I was going to run one long screw all the way across with a lock nut. But I'll figure it out, guys. I'm just pointing out that use Speedmaster for everything, but maybe consider TFL struts. And then lastly, sorry, trying not to move my head a ton here. Lastly is the Black Pearl. Holy smokes, look at that wingspan on that thing. It's like 18 or 19 or 20, something like that, inches wide. So the Decepticon's a huge ass wide boat, but I think you can probably tell from this. This is a Q Pearl, custom built wooden boat. I spent about 2 months on this thing, maybe 3 months so far, building it completely from scratch. I got it from Pete, who has been totally awesome. But yeah, the hydros are a bit more, dare I say, advanced. And so when you're looking for like a really, like the fastest hydros out there, most of them are hand built, or, you know, they're wood. They're built like this. And I wouldn't, believe me, I would not have built this, excuse me, wouldn't have built this if I didn't absolutely have to. I wanted a hydro, and so some cool things on this, it's getting very close to completion. I've got hard lines into the boat. These are epoxied in. They go all the way forward, and they dump out there and there. This is a big ass Pro Boat motor. This is out of a Blackjack 42, so it's a 4685, kind of stubby, kind of thick, fat, and short. I got the Amazon special servo in here, of course, nothing but the best. You know, I built this plate custom. There was a little bit of flex, so I added a brace across the top, but then I had to drill a hole in it, right, to gain access to the grub screw here. So it's going to have an X8S up front. It's going to have 2 4S packs along the sides. And what you're seeing here is seam fairing. So, you know, where I had 2 seams meeting each other, I sanded out the middle. I put fiberglass, like a really thin fiberglass in between. Then I sanded it, smoothed it out with resin. So obviously this is all going to be painted. It's all going to be nice and smooth. But you do this so that the seams don't end up showing up. But this was my first time building a wooden boat. I really fought it. I didn't really I wasn't too excited about the idea, but my buddy Mike pushed me to do it. He's like, you know, and I'm really glad I did. It's a learning experience. I think that if you can learn, and anyone can learn, but I think if you can build a wooden boat, everything else becomes pretty easy. So, you know, you build one of these, you can see the way that this is a half round of carbon fiber with really thin fiberglass cloth wrapped around the front. The inside is all done. Only thing left is final sanding. Well, to be honest, I'm waiting for a hatch. So that's really been the holdup, is because I am having the hatch made for me. Here's the turn fin mount. Sorry. Kind of sanded. I'll show you guys what the bottom looks like. That's the bottom of the boat. Like I said, about 20 inches wide. You know, this kind of stuff here is not pretty, but it's insanely strong. And once it's all painted, my understanding is that the benefit of a wood boat is they are strong, they are light, and they are true. And everything's square, everything is sharp, everything is race ready. The tub is perfectly flat. So anyway, probably enough. I could probably make some videos just on this boat alone. Like I said, I've spent 2 to 3 months building this boat. The only holdup is really the hatch, a bit more sanding. Then I'm going to seal the outside, and then it gets painted. And once it's painted, it's going to look just like a fiberglass boat, except for, unlike a fiberglass boat that's kind of warped and twisted and pulled from a mold and not exact, this will be like razor sharp. Like everything on it is like precision. And nice thing about wood boats as well is that they're pretty inexpensive. So I think the whole kit from Pete was around $150, $170 maybe. And obviously a really well-built wooden hydro with electronics ready to run is probably worth $800 to $1,200, depending on the quality and who built it and how nice it is. And so pretty good value for money there, especially with hulls as expensive as they are. But yeah, just need to seal it really and get the hatch. And then, you know, I need the hatch to be able to paint it. So once it's all painted up, I got the back end done. I've got these corners kind of rounded, hard to tell. But anyway, this is a Q Pearl, 37 inches. I think this is the, you know, the P size, the 34 inch is super popular. I think this is only the second Q Pearl that's ever been built. And technically it's not built yet, so maybe it's not anymore. But yeah, 37 inches long, almost 20 inches wide. I think 19 inches or so wide. Should be insanely fast. Should run laps at like 80 miles an hour. So, and the hydros are efficient, which is what I love about them, is they don't take a ton of power to go really fast, and then they get good run time, and they're just awesome. So I'll keep you guys updated as I build that one. This one, we're going to get it figured out. We're going to get the stingers aligned. And then once those stop moving, I'm sure you guys know that tuning a boat is a bit finicky, right? And so when you have an adjustment that's not holding and you think, oh, okay, this is neutral struts, and then you find out it's not neutral struts, you're kind of just chasing your tail. And so it's pretty frustrating, but we're going to get it. Still one of my favorite boats, honestly, to run, just because of the way it turns and the speed and the size and everything. So that's it. We got the GNSS, waterproof case. I bitched about the stingers. Go TFL, save some money. I think they're, you know, the quality, you know, whatever. Yeah, TFL, Speedmaster, everything else. Very happy with their hardware. That one's coming as soon as I get a hatch, finish sanding, and it's minor sanding. Like, it's just like I need to block sand this and smooth it out, you know, just getting it ready for paint essentially. And then this one will be ready. Black Pearl, hit me up if you want to build one. I can get you Pete's info and you can get one ordered up. All right, kept you guys long enough. See you guys.